Hi folks, this is James from Fairy Tales, Myths and Legends. This time we're looking at the Qarinah from Islamic folklore. I hope you enjoy this one. The Qarinah, a creature of dark whispers, myth and mischief, haunting the fringes of Islamic folklore and, like a tenacious spectre, refusing to be banished by the march of time. This particular spirit, or demon, depending on whom one asks, has its roots deeply entrenched in the ancient sands of the Middle East and North Africa. Though its most ardent association is with Arabic and Islamic traditions, the lineage of the Qarinah stretches back into the mystical tapestries of ancient Egypt and early Jewish sources. Some scholars even argue that its origins can be traced as far as Sumerian and Babylonian mythology, making it something of an ancient troublemaker with an enviable longevity. Indeed, its role in legend bears a striking resemblance to the infamous Succubus of Western demonology. The Qarinah, or its male incarnation qareen, is often described as a malign entity, a shadowy and insidious force that latches onto a person, often for life. Unlike the merely mischievous jinn, who may indulge in the occasional bout of human torment before moving along, the Qarinah is profoundly possessive. It seethes with jealousy and harbours a particular vendetta against human relationships, ensuring its unfortunate host remains unattached and unloved. Marriage? Out of the question. Happiness? Don't be absurd. Here is where things get somewhat tangled in the lexicon of supernatural beings. The Qarinah is often confused with the qareen, a spiritual double that, according to Islamic tradition, every human possesses. While both entities share a certain spectral familiarity, the crucial distinction is that the Qarinah is a force of destruction, a malevolent stalker of the soul, whereas the qareen is more neutral, a silent and often unremarkable companion that merely mirrors one's essence. If the qareen is an ever-present shadow, the Qarinah is the shadow that bites. According to Arabian mythology, only those gifted with second sight are able to perceive these spectral parasites. Even then, they do not always appear in their true terrifying forms, but rather take on the guise of an innocuous household pet, a dog, a cat, perhaps a particularly menacing parrot. This aspect aligns them with the jinn, yet they stand apart, distinct in their sinister purpose. And what, pray, does this Qarinah do to deserve its wicked reputation? Here we enter the realm of true horror. This is no mere mischief maker, tipping over cups and whispering misfortunes into the ears of lovers. No, the Qarinah is the ruination of relationships, the phantom hand that severs ties between man and woman, the unseen saboteur of love. Worse still, legend has it that the Qarinah extends its cruelty beyond the lovers themselves, turning its wrath upon unborn and newborn children, stealing breath from tiny lungs and spreading sickness through innocent cradles. This trait, this tragic and terrible ability to seduce and destroy, ties it firmly to the Western notion of the succubus, a nightmarish spirit that preys upon its human host during slumber, feeding upon them in ways both physical and supernatural. One particularly chilling historical account, relayed by the writer Barak, tells of a young Egyptian peasant woman found dead upon the railway tracks in 1916. The investigation revealed that she had blindfolded herself, leading to the grim conclusion that she had laid herself there deliberately. But why? As it turns out, a curious belief persisted at the time, the notion that inducing fear might stimulate fertility. Women, in a desperate bid to conceive, would subject themselves to moments of terror, lying in the path of an oncoming train, for instance, hoping that the sheer force of fright might jumpstart the body's maternal instincts. More eerily still, some believed that their fear would compel their Qarinah to return the souls of lost children to their wombs. And where does this Qarinah come from? If we are to believe the scholars of the arcane, her origins stretch back a full 6,000 years to the time of the Sumerians. One theory postulates that the Qarinah is none other than a descendant of Lilith, that most infamous of biblical outcasts. Some versions of the Hebrew Bible claim that Lilith was Adam's first wife, fashioned before Eve, but she proved a tad too independent for divine liking and was summarily dismissed or fled, depending on the account. Rejected, she transformed into a bitter and vengeful spirit, one who despises humans and, according to later Islamic interpretations, became the very first Qarinah. Robert Lebling, in his excellent study Legends of the Fire Spirits, adds yet another layer to the tale. According to Islamic lore, Lilith, now a Qarinah, took up with none other than Iblis, the devil himself, and bore unto him a brood of jinn. Some sources even go so far as to claim that she is the mother of all jinn, the progenitor of an entire race of supernatural beings. So there you have it, the Qarinah, an ancient spectre whose tale has woven its way through millennia, transforming, evolving, always lurking just beyond the veil of the known world. Is she a demon, a jinn, a discarded deity of a bygone age? Or does she serve as a reflection of her own fears, of love lost, of loneliness unshaken, of shadows that whisper in the night? Whatever she is, one thing remains certain: she's not done with us yet. Have you got something to say about the Qarinah? Have we missed something important? Have you got a suggestion for our next topic? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe, as it helps us fund the channel. This has been James from Fairy Tales, Myths and Legends. I hope to see you again soon.